Hi everyone, Josh here with Top Score Tutor. Thanks for tuning in as always. In this video, we're going to look at paired question types on section 1, reading comprehension. So let's get started. So paired questions are basically two questions dealing with the same thing. They go together. The first question is going to be your traditional standard question type on reading comprehension. The second question immediately following it will always say which choice provides the best evidence for the answer to the previous question. So basically, the answer to the first question will be found on which of the following lines, which is the second question. So let's look at some examples to drive it home. We're going to be on practice test 3, section 1. Okay, so here you see we have paired questions. As I said, the first question is a regular question, and then the second question says, which of the following provides the best evidence to the previous question? So again, whichever answer I come up with on 3 will be found on one of these lines in question 4. So we're going to proceed the same way with the basic strategies as we normally do. So we can treat these as kind of a specific question because question 4 is giving you the lines that the answer is going to be found on. So we know the answer is going to be in one of these specific parts of the passage. So I'm going to label question 3 as specific, as most paired questions are. What's the next thing that we do, guys? We rephrase the question. The passage most clearly implies, I can get rid of that. Other people regarded Lady C as, remember, always abbreviate, Lady C. Other people regarded Lady C as. Other people regarded Lady C as. Another way that you can put it is, how did others regard Lady C? How did they feel about Lady C? What did they think about Lady C? How did others regard Lady C? What's the next thing that we do? We cross out the answer choices. So question 3 doesn't have a line reference, but we know the answer is going to be on one of the lines of question number 4. So we do know where to go in the passage to look, but do we always start from the top and go lines 10 to 14, then 22 to 23, then 23 to 26? No, you want to remember that the questions go in order. So where was the answer found to question number 2? In line 2. So the answer to question 3 is going to be really close after line 2. So I'm going to start with A. I'm going to start with lines 10 to 14 and see if those lines even mention anything about how other people view Lady C. So let's go to work. So lines 10 to 14, let's get there. And they always give you the beginning and the end of the line. So it started with the word certain and it ended with the word business. So you always want to put brackets for these questions because I find that it helps your eyes stay focused on the part of the passage you need to read. So the first thing you need to figure out is, do lines 10 to 14 even mention how other people regard Lady C? Certain of her acquaintances is kind of people you know. Those are other people. So we're off to a good start. How did they feel about Lady C? Were wont to give her plentiful admonition as to the undesirability of interfering on behalf of a stressed animal, such interference being none of her business. And you see right above, they are talking about Lady C. So it's safe to say that this is where the answer is going to be found. This part of the passage is talking about how other people feel about Lady C because they're describing her in this sentence. So it's safe to say we found the line reference, but now we still, of course, need to actually answer the question, how do other people view Lady C? What are they saying about her in these lines? her acquaintances, the other people, were wont to give her plentiful admonition. Do you know what admonition means? If you don't worry about it. There's always going to be words you don't know what they mean, but you can use context clues to still piece together the meaning. Undesirability of interfering on behalf of a distressed animal. Such interference being none of her business. Her business, Lady C's business. So how do the other people view Lady C? By saying that there's an undesirability of interfering. Such interference being none of her business. So it sounds like Lady C, people think Lady C interferes a lot in other people's business. That's what they're saying. So let that be our summarized answer choice. So our own answer choice was a lot of interfering in other people's business. Okay, so which answer choice matches what we came up with? Unfriendly? If you're interfering in other people's business, then you probably are, if anything, you're more friendly than not, because unfriendly means that you don't like to talk to people. You don't go up to people. If you're unfriendly, you're going to shy away from people. You're definitely not going to be putting yourself in other people's business. So unfriendly is incorrect. Ambitious, if you're ambitious, are you interfering on other people's business? That's too big of a stretch. Tactful, do you know what tactful means? If not, you can't cross it out. And that's always going to happen. You're always going to come to words that you don't know what they mean. Outspoken. If you're always speaking what's on your mind and you're very outspoken, then it's safe to say you're probably speaking on other people's business because you're always speaking up. You're very outspoken. You're asserting your opinion all the time. Choice A is the closest of all the answer choices to match our own answer of interfering in other people's business. So choice A is the best answer. Well, if choice A is the answer, then that means for question 4, choice A is also the answer. So you'll see that answer choice A, outspoken, is described on lines 10 to 14. So it's really important to make sure those answer choices match up. If you were to read any of these other answer choices in question 4, they would not describe someone that's outspoken, which is the answer to question 3. So you have to make sure that in this case, the answer we put for the first question matches the answer we put for the second question. So let's look at another one. Let's look at 32 and 33. Okay, so I want to challenge you guys to go through the entire process, implement all the strategies, and see if you can come up with your own correct answer to question 32 and 33. Press pause, give it a try, make sure you do all basic strategies that we've talked about, and then go ahead and press play and we'll review the answers. So as you can see, this is a paired question. You have 32, which is a regular question, and then you have question 33, which provides the best evidence for the previous question. So we can identify that it's a paired question. The second part of paired questions are always going to look like that. So what's the first thing that we do? We identify it as a specific question. It can be inferred that the authors of passage 1 believe that running a household and raising children. So are we going to have to understand the entire passage to know what it says about running a household and raising children? Probably not. And besides, it's a paired question. We know the answer is going to be found on one of those specific lines. So for all those reasons, we can say this is a specific question. What's the next thing that we do? We rephrase the question. And this is a little bit longer of a question. it can be inferred that the authors of passage 1 believe that running a household and raising children. So the key part is running a household and raising children. How does the author feel about running a household and raising children? Author's view on running household raising children. Okay, how does the author feel about running a household and raising children? Author feel about running a household and raising children. Okay, we got the question in our mind. What's the next thing that we do? We cover the answer choices. So let's cross those off. Now, we don't have a line reference in 32. So where are we going to go to start seeing where the author talks about running a household and raising children? Well, this is a paired question. So we know the answer is going to be on one of these lines. But which lines should we start looking? The answers go in order. So if question 31 is found on lines 21, which of these lines in 33 should we start with? The questions go in order, so we're going to start with 25 to 30. That's where we're going to immediately go to start finding if those lines talk about running a household and raising children. Do not start at the top. Do not start with lines 4 through 6 and 13 and 17 because the answers go in order. You're going to be wasting time if you do that. Remember, stick to the strategy. So let's go to lines 25 to 30 and see if that even talks about running a household and raising kids. So it starts on, is it not apparent? And it ends on home. So I'm going to put the brackets to make it easier to focus. And we're going to see if this even talks about running a household and raising kids. Is it not apparent that their delicate constitutions, peaceful inclinations, and many duties of motherhood, raising children, motherhood? I think we're onto it so far. Set them apart from strenuous habits and onerous duties and summon them to gentle occupations and cares of the home. How does the author feel about raising children and running a household? Motherhood, cares of the home. We found the correct part of the passage that is going to address our question. So now that we've understood that, now we got to actually answer the question. What does the author actually feel about running a household and raising children? What does he say about it? Go ahead, if you haven't yet, try to best summarize your own answer. Press pause, see what you can come up with, and then we'll press play and compare notes. So, delicate constitution, so delicate, peaceful inclinations, and many duties of motherhood. So, delicate, peaceful, okay. Set them apart, super important right there. Set them apart from strenuous habits and onerous duties. So their delicate and peaceful inclinations set them apart from strenuous habits. So not strenuous. And summon them to gentle occupations and cares of the home. Gentle occupations. There we go along the same lines again. Delicate, peaceful, gentle, not strenuous. So summon them to the gentle occupations and cares of the home. And cares of the home. So we're in that same direction there. So I see a lot of delicate, peaceful, gentle, not strenuous. Sets them apart from the strenuous habits and summons them to the gentle occupations. So I think we have our summarized answer here, that raising a household and running children deals with being gentle, delicate, peaceful, and not strenuous. So let's see which answer choice best says that. Requires skills similar to those needed to run a country or business. We didn't say anything about running a country or business. Entail very few activities that are difficult or unpleasant. So running a household and raising children entail very few activities that are difficult or unpleasant. Well, we said that they're delicate, peaceful, not strenuous. Few activities that are difficult, not strenuous. That's the same thing. So I think we're going to hang on to choice C. But let's check the rest of the answer choices. Choice B, yield less value for society than to the roles performed by men. Choice A, are rewarding for men as well as for women. Our answer choices said nothing about men. They didn't make any comparison to men. So for those reasons alone, choice A and B are incorrect. Choice C is the correct answer. Choice C closest matches the answer choice that the summary that we came up with. So if choice C is the correct answer to 32, what does that make the answer to 33? Choice C as well. Because what it says on lines 25 to 30 describe what I put right here for 32. They match, they pair, they say the same thing. So you really want to make sure you keep that in mind. So those are paired questions. Let's take a look at the next question type, which is general questions.